The interesting thing about Tinder and other dating apps, and which probably becomes apparent to a man who uses them long enough, is how it's mutated the idea of a sexual marketplace into kind of an actual sexual marketplace, wherein even if we take the idea that you might actually find a suitable mate using these apps, money makes the difference between whether or not such a suitable mate will even see your profile. In a way, it makes the situation even worse and more anti-human for those going into it with intentions that aren't entirely sexual. At least if it was purely sexual, you wouldn't have to face the reality that you might be missing out on your ideal match because of an algorithm, and more specifically because of your lack of payment therein too. On these apps, you can pay upwards of $50 a month to increase your profile's favorability in the algorithm. You can pay for additional boosts, which I don't even think they come with the monthly payments. And apparently now, Tinder is offering a $500 per month VIP tier. But let me ask you, do you think women pay for this? No. Of course not, or at least rarely. As of 2023, 96% of paid users on Tinder are male and 4% female. It's no secret that the dating marketplaces have always been more competitive for men. The information age has simply created a kind of simulacra of this pre-existent reality and exaggerated its attributes to an almost comical point. It's very true that women do essentially have their pick of men, not only in the apps, but their desirability in the real world enables them the ability to either attract or solicit men who at one time may have been beyond their reach. More so in the apps, of course, in that case. I think there is a good reason for this in general, and is essentially just a consequence of masculine-feminine dynamics. However, is this arrangement, as far as the apps are concerned, actually profitable for women? No. Far from it, I would say. The layer that media, including social media and dating apps, has applied over the common social noosphere has led to a dramatization of the interest men have in women. To women, specifically. But more importantly, it has consequenced women mistaking sexual interest for romantic interest. Something many women do catch on to much of the time after making the mistake. But interestingly, it is rhetorically popular for women to understand the limited interest of men, but at the same time, it seems poorly understood that the perceived value from men that is necessary for them to want to seduce women is generally not particularly high. More importantly, there is the gap between the threshold necessary for sexual interest and that necessary for romantic interest. This consequences an inflated self-perception of both sexual and romantic worth due to the conflation of the two. Basically, if a man wants to have sex with a woman, doesn't necessarily mean that they want to romance the woman. And their standards for the former are much lower than for the latter. But that's just tangential to the main point I want to make here with this short video, which ultimately concludes with the fact that even in a heavily saturated marketplace, some of the competitors will compete very well. And in this case, that means the women who have massively increased their ability to pick who they can match with will be flowing towards the top competitors. So really, those who superficially stand to gain the most from dating apps are just the highest performing males in the marketplace. Because in all likelihood, they're getting exactly what they want from the interactions that follow, and the women aren't. I mean, really, how? Maybe they'll enjoy it. Maybe they don't even enjoy it, and I'm sure it doesn't feel good to just get, left directly after those interactions. This is, of course, not counting the profiteers who run these apps, monetizing the ability to connect with potential mates, but that's just a given. Short video, but hope you found it interesting.